Well, this is not good. Oh no. All right, let's, oh wow. That's oh, is that just coolant or is that oil too? Please just be coolant. Oh man. So I've got I should explain what's going on since we all just got here together. I got my pickup. I've got my gooseneck on the back, and I've got my new to me set of mat tracks hooked up, and I'm headed home from, well, Wyoming, where I dropped off the Hagland, and then just north of Salt Lake City where I picked up the tracks. Come over this pass, no problem, everything's fine. Coming down the pass, like halfway down, kaboom! And then like a puff of white. And I found a spot to pull over here, and it ain't looked good, is what I'm gonna say. I don't know what happened. It sounded like a boom down here. We're gonna have to get underneath and look, but underneath is dumping coolant. Not good. Okay, so I've been on the road for 4 days. This is day 4. Home is like 3 hours over there. 4 days. 3 hours. Just got to get home. Empty. Not even loaded. We ain't gonna make it. Alright, come back here. I put you down a bit to do a lot of looking and figuring, and I found the problem. It's not good. I was really hoping that a radiator hose popped off, or because it did it right as like the engine brake came on pretty good going down the hill, and of course then the fan spins up and your turbo spools up and all that stuff. So I was hoping either a radiator hose popped off or one of my intercooler tubes popped off under the turbo pressure and like knocked the radiator hose off or something. It's worse. I realized this is all tore up and this is all pushed back. And then I look in here and I realize, let me turn it for you so you can see. Come on. There. There's supposed to be a fan blade here. So my fan lost a blade, and down on the bottom down there, I don't think you can see, but it took out the bottom of the radiator. So all the hoses are intact. Let's see if we can get under here without dripping more coolant in my eyeball like I did last time. Yeah, we ain't fixing that on the side of the road. Well, I was hoping for like I could pop a hose back on and walk to a creek or something, get a bunch of water and fill it back up and make it home, but no. Nope, we're calling for a tow truck. All right, so we're in a bad spot on the side of the road. I don't want to stay. And I can see just down the road like a ODOT like gravel yard. I don't know if it's got a gate on it or not, and if not, there's not really any better spot than where we are right now to park this thing. So I'm flying my drone down to go see if there's a gate or if I can just pull right into that yard. If so, that's a much better place to be sitting, waiting for someone to come get me. So it looks like, let me get down here. Yeah, I do have a drone. I've had a drone for many years. Love flying drones. It's just one of the little mini 3s or whatever, tiny ones that you don't have to have a license to fly, and I never put drone footage in the videos, so it's just a personal little hobby to me. But right now it's becoming a tool. Like driving on long trips like this, I get tired of sitting in the truck, all that, I'll pull over, see something cool up on the hillside, side of the road or something like that, I'll put the drone up and go check it out and like explore and just check out cool stuff on the out off the side of the road in the hills or something. Looks like no gate, which is good. So it's downhill all the way to there, which means I should be able to make it there no problem with no coolant in that engine and not being an issue. The problem is if that had a gate on it when I got down to it, it's like a long straight stretch on a hot day to the nearest anywhere else I can see down there down the road would be a good spot to pull over. So that's why I don't want to do that. So we'll bring this guy back in here. We are going to head down the hill, and then I got to get my satellite communicator and try to get some help there this way, because there's no phone service out here either. All right, here we are, just like I checked, no gate. So I'm gonna spin around and line it up right there, because that's gonna be the easiest spot to hook up to it when a tow truck comes. I can hear my fan in there being angry. I'm just gonna line up, back it into place without wasting any time here, because we can't let the motor get hot. Good enough. Shut her down. Okay, I am going to pull out my little satellite dingus and send a message to my wife, which is probably going to freak her out when she first gets a message from the satellite communicator, because that's usually for something bad happen. And then as long as I write the message correctly, it'll make her feel better, and then she can send me help. So that's the plan. So we have a plan. I've been doing some messaging back and forth with my wife, and then with a couple of friends too. Matt with Tumalo Transport is on his way right now with his pickup that has a gooseneck hitch in the back. Since I have the room right here, we're gonna unhook this truck, you know, since it runs, and then pull it around here and load it up on the trailer, tie it down. I got plenty of stuff to do that with. And then we're gonna hook the trailer to his truck, and he can just tow my whole setup 3 hours back home. Actually, I think it's a little over 3 hours. It's 175 miles, so somewhere in that range. But I have, for communication purposes, and it's come in really handy a few times like now, it's called, it's no sponsor or anything like that, nothing, it's just what I use. It is Zoleo satellite communicator. Had it for a few years, and this one, you see there's no screen of any kind on this thing. You don't use you don't do any sort of messaging on this. You can hit SOS on it. You can check in on it. Just hit your check in that I'm good, and it sends to whoever your check-in contacts are a GPS pin where you're at and that you're good. SOS obviously sends SOS stuff. But this Bluetooths to your phone. And right now it's showing me the weather for where I'm at and what we're looking at for the rest of the day, for the next few days if we need, wind directions, precipitation, all that stuff. But this has all of its, the messaging and everything you do on this is done off of this. And you can hit the message button right there, and you can text anyone in your contacts list. I'm not going to hit it because that'll pull up every one of my contacts list and their phone numbers. I'm not going to show you that, obviously, but this allows you to text while your phone is Bluetooth hooked to this. So the good thing is, unlike the InReach or the Spot or those that have the little screen on them, and you got to do like the little hit this one 4 times to get to an S, and then this button, however, whatever. The total pain to try to do the shortest little simple message. That one on your phone, you can just write out a text, or if you're injured or something like that and you can't even type a text, as long as you hit the button to like voice record, you can do voice to text, and it will, just like your phone doesn't text message, it will, you could say, help me, I broke my arm and my hand and can't type anything, and it'll write that out and it'll send it to anyone in your contacts lists, or SOS, you know, search and rescue, all that type of stuff. So again, no sort of sponsor anything. This is just what I personally use and have used for a few years now. Now, about these tracks, because that's what you're most interested in. A lot of you don't care one bit that I'm stranded out here in the desert, but these are Matt Tracks model 150 M1A2s. The A is this is aluminum frame, not steel. And two, I don't know if that means second generation or what, but these are a aluminum frame 150 model track. They are the suspension track where all of these move up and down and float and follow terrain. So these are an all-terrain track, not a snow track. So much like the Haglund, these can be used in gravel, dirt, sagebrush, rock, sand, mud, snow, whatever you want to use them in. They're good for all terrains. The cool thing about these ones is they came with all the anti-rotation stuff already on them. On the last ones I had to order that. And they are set up for either an 8 on 6.5 bolt pattern, or you can, if you look close, you see these are actually a slotted hole. So they'll fit 8 on 6.5 or 8 on 170, which is perfect because all of my trucks are 8 on 6.5, so that works perfectly. Where is my hat? That's what I need. Yes, here we go. All right, now I feel complete. So why did I buy basically the exact same tracks that I already had and sold? Well, because they were free. I mean, not technically, but essentially free. That's why I got them. As I explained in a previous video, I like to do me some wheeling and dealing and buying and selling of stuff, which will also explain why I sold the last set of mat tracks I had that were basically this exact same model. So the Haglunds. I got the Haglunds at a really, really good deal. And I had every intention of running that through the winter, but also I had every intention of making money off it if I could sell it for a decent deal as well. So I sold the Track Outdoors for a good deal to them, as you can see right here. So you're happy?
Yeah.
Good. That makes me happy. See? Everybody happy. Now, in the meanwhile of all that, I was able to find a really, really good deal on a set of mat tracks in Salt Lake City. So the difference in the really good deal I paid for the Haglund and the really good deal that Tracked Outdoors paid me for the Haglund essentially paid for these tracks plus roughly dead on the fuel to go pick up the Haglund from Montana and drop it off in Wyoming. So essentially I am, never mind. Forget the truck repairs I have now. But essentially, as far as all this goes, I am $0 out of pocket and got a free set of mat tracks out of the whole thing with spending nothing more than my time to make a couple road trips. So that is why I got a set of tracks. Now also why I sold the last set I had, as I said, I don't need tracks to do what I do with the type of off-road recovery I do. I don't need tracks. I don't. But when you can get a set for free, I mean, why would you not want tracks? Oh, and the other reason I sold the last set I had is because, like I said, I didn't need them, and I bought them for $11,000 and sold them for $22,000. So when you don't need something and you can double your money on it like that, bye-bye. So these ones were free, so I'll probably hang on to these ones and run them through the winter. But like I said, when I dropped off the Haglund, I sold 4 tracks and I'm gaining 8. Well, you see 4 right here. There's 4 more coming in a future video that are not mat tracks. More on that later. Now, a question I am sure popped up in the video of taking the Haglund up to Tracked Outdoors. I don't know if this question's actually popped up yet or not because I haven't seen the video, because I haven't edited it yet, because I'm still on my way home from that trip. But by the time that video posts and it goes out, and then this one comes up later on, I'm sure someone asked a question, why did you haul the Haglund on this setup when last time you hauled it on your Western Star? This is exactly why I should have hauled it on my Western Star. I took it to the scales, I weighed it, and I was just a hair under legal all the way across with it on this setup. And this was a much longer trip than the trip I took to go pick up the thing. And I thought I should just put it back on the low bed and haul it with the Western Star. And I'm like, no, I'll take my pickup. That way I'm not running the Western Star all over the place. What a stupid idea that was, as you can see here. So I was almost certain the Haglund was going to be legal on this setup when I went to pick it up in the first place, so I wasn't totally sure. So I took the Western Star because my thought is I would much rather drive something like the Western Star at a freaking, not even a tenth, like a tiny percentage of its capability. The thing's basically empty, not even starting to break a sweat, to haul something like that. Haglund, as easy as it can be on the truck. This thing, on the other hand, where I was less than 1,000 pounds under max weight all the way across, So this truck was maxed out for over 1,000 miles out there, and it was uphill the whole way. I mean, I know you go uphill and you go down hills, but Casper, Wyoming is 2,000 foot elevation higher than my house, so it's uphill. So I worked the hell out of this truck hauling that Hagland out there, and working it so hard, the fan kicks on a lot, lots of big hills to climb. Well, you see how long the fan lasted. Where if I would have thrown it on the Western Star, sitting in this thing for, I think I'm at about 2,000 miles right now, maybe a little over, my back is not feeling it. The Western Star, days and days and days and days, no big deal. It's so much more of a comfortable truck. Could have slept in the sleeper instead of some janky hotel rooms that I slept in on this trip, and the Western Star wouldn't even have started to break a sweat. My trip out to Wyoming with this thing and the Hagland on the back, 9 miles a gallon was my average from the time I left home to the time I got there. My Western Star hauling something as lightweight as that Hagland would have got probably real close to exactly that same amount of fuel mileage. So I gained nothing there. On the way back, this is definitely doing better. It's closer to like 14, 15 with this setup, but I wouldn't have got that with the Western Star, but I would have made it home. So there's that. The sun's gone down. I went ahead and got the pickup unhooked from the gooseneck and parked behind the gooseneck. I'm not going to load it up on there until there's another truck hooked to the front of this, because I don't want to be one of those people on YouTube who goes rolling off down the hill in a trailer. And while they try to load and I'm totally on top of a hill here. But look at this, just beautiful, beautiful area out here. A couple of cars coming down the highway, but other than that, just peaceful, crickets, no one around. Middle of nowhere. Is it weird to you that being stranded somewhere like this is just peaceful? To me is the first thing that comes to mind. How just nice it is out here. If it wasn't for the sound of that highway, just cattle fields and valleys and mountains. Other than the whole no phone service thing and help being a minimum of 3 hours away, it's a really nice place to be stranded. So just gonna enjoy the last little bit of the sunset over there and wait for Matt to show up. So you can see way up on the other side of the valley over there, I think that's Matt, one of those ones in those lights over there, because it came up here and turned around and went back there and pulled off. And I told them it's after you pass mile marker 175 on the right, just before the bottom of the hill. Well, I didn't think in this valley, the mile marker's in the middle and there's a hill on both sides. So I didn't explain which side. Hopefully he comes back. Okay, turned around. Those lights right there are hopefully Matt. If not, it's a strange guy driving back and forth in this valley in the middle of the night. And I don't want him to stop. But I see cab lights, I see mirror lights, I see wide fender dually lights. So that should be his Ford dually. I turned on my headlights shining on my gooseneck. So hopefully he sees. Alright. Does he pull in now? Attaboy. Alright. Thank you for turning back around and not being just like, well, I didn't see him, I'm going home.
No, I was like, there's no way. My lights fucking suck. And I was just like, I can't see.
I told you up in the ground with it. So this is Matt. He owns Tumalo Transport.
Matt.
When I moved to Oregon, he was one of only 2 people I knew in Oregon.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah. And I didn't even really know you. I just conned you into buying my junk old trailer.
I still have that piece of crap.
Yeah. So
here we are.
I didn't load it yet because I've seen the YouTube videos.
I mean, you could have made one.
No, it would have made this a lot funnier if I'd have rolled off into the cow field down there.
That wouldn't have been fun.
No.
But here we are.
We'd have got a recovery out of it.
Yeah, we would have had to go get some stuff. I got some stuff in here. So.
Yeah. It's almost like you heavy haul. And...
I mean, it's almost like I was piloting a D8 a little while ago.
Oh, does that drop into your gooseneck
Yes.
thing and quick couple of your ball does?
Yes.
That's cool.
It's all right. You could use some modifications, but it works.
You're hauling D8?
Yeah. Yeah, for Harder Creek. That was fun.
Yeah. We could throw that in the back of my truck or on the trailer.
That'd probably be good.
Okay.
It's gonna be in the way otherwise. But yeah, I want to be really lazy, so it goes right in.
I love being lazy. And I know you're an equipment hauler when you have the master key to all the gates that people tell you are going to be open when you get there and they're not. Yeah, I've played that game a lot.
That's a fact.
So,
how long have you been sitting out here?
I'll have to look at the timestamp on the footage. I think around 4:30 or so. Yeah, it's almost 9 now. Yeah.
What have you been doing to pass the time?
4-day road trip. Broke down 3.5 hours from home.
I'm glad you're 3.5 hours from home.
Yeah, not in Wyoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, where I was.
Right.
No, I edited a video, got that done.
Nice.
Because there's no service out here, so you can't do anything,
Right.
but you can edit a video. So I did that. I got my whole Wyoming trip edited and done, and then I flew my drone around this whole valley.
Nice.
Checking out all kinds of stuff. There's not much, but
Ran out of battery?
I saw it all. I have 5 batteries for that drone, and I have 1 left. Oh, I was just making laps. It's been a while.
That's cool.
Yeah.
At least you had something to do for a little while.
Yeah, and then I was sitting here watching the video that I edited when I saw some truck pull up and then turn around and drive off. And I'm like, man, if that's Matt, I hope he turned around. And then he went back there, and I saw he turn around down there and come back, and I'm like, man, if that's not Matt, I hope he doesn't come back, because that means some crazy guy is driving around the valley in the middle of the night for no reason. Straight back, straight back. I think actually, yeah, straight back. Stop. I think that might work. Yeah, that might work. You have to maybe come back a little more. I think it'll push over.
No, that'll work. That's close enough. We'll make it work.
Your truck is lower than mine.
You know, I get that a lot. Usually for everybody that wants to borrow my dump trailer.
Hopefully you have enough gas here.
Yeah, that's always a worry too. Actually, if you don't, I have a trick for that.
Block of wood under there. And...
Yep.
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 Okay. Where are we at here?
Pop them right.
Oh, so we're on the edge of it. So if we bring them up and then we put a from there, pull over, it'll drop right on. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Ready?
2, 3. It worked.
It's violent, but it works.
Kind of how we both do things, so it makes sense that it went like that.
Well, we work well together.
We are a pretty similar amount of sketchy.
Just enough to not get in too much trouble, but just enough to have fun. Or this week.
Well, let's not forget to throw your oversized signs in my truck then before we drive off. Leave them out in the middle of the desert.
I already forgot.
I was about to forget, that's why I said it.
Yeah, we're gonna forget these in your truck later.
Yeah, that just means next time you have to pilot something, you have to call me to do it.
I mean, I should anyway.
Well, I got that fancy new pilot sign.
I know.
But now I don't have a truck that can make it.
Good point. Well, you do.
All right, you hold that.
All right.
I'm gonna drive this onto that.
All right.
Listen to how this beauty runs.
Oh, I'm sure it sounds absolutely amazing. wherever, don't matter to me. Almost like you've done this before.
I have not loaded this stuff.
Well, now you have.
Yeah, yay.
Smells amazing, by the way.
Amazing what now?
The coolant smells amazing.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said my loading job was amazing.
I mean, should we check it out? See if it's centered. You're pretty close.
I'm like 3/4 board on each side.
I think you're good.
My light's dead.
Your light's dead?
Of course it is. Why wouldn't it? That's okay. As late as it is,
You're close.
the way everything else has been going, if it's not touched down super great and falls off, one, it's on your insurance now. Two,
What insurance?
two at this point, oh well.
This is my personal truck. This isn't insured. Are you kidding me?
You're like, I got enough insurance on the other tracks, I don't have to have it on this
Pretty
one.
much. I actually talked to them today too.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It's always a pleasant experience.
You tell them you were going to hang out with Casey Liddell and they went, cancel.
I'll plead the fifth on that.
Check out my sweet tracks I got.
Those are nice. Those are real nice.
Yeah, these are nice ones. These are in way better shape than the previous ones of these I had. These are really nice. So. And they're an all-season track, not a snow track.
Nice.
So mud, sand, dirt, rocks down the highway. They're made for everything.
So you're gonna play with these all year round?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or make everybody on YouTube mad and sell them for a profit in the next one.
Come on, we all know you don't sell anything.
No, never. Like I said, that's how we met.
That is true. That is true. I'm still not certain if that was good or bad at this point.
Hey, that trailer's done good for you.
It has.
That's actually a really nice trailer.
It really is. It's actually going to Washington tomorrow.
Huh?
It's actually going to Washington tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's the only piece of equipment it's the only vehicle of any type or piece of equipment, trucks, trailers, anything that I've ever bought brand new.
Really?
Yep.
Holy cow.
It's the only brand new piece of equipment I've ever bought.
And then you sell it.
And I sold it to you.
Yeah. And then I beat the hell out of it.
And you unbrand newed it real quick.
What? I mean, to be fair, I did see a few pictures of it in the woods, up in the air with an excavator turning around on a road.
Yeah, and what you didn't see, because there were no pictures of it, is when it was only a week old, one of my drivers went off the bank with it and down into a canyon.
That's right, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate that there were no pictures
I know.
or video.
I so wish I was doing YouTube back then. I did so much more stupid stuff than I do now.
I think we should change that. Maybe not. I feel like we had this discussion the other day.
I was way sketchier back then.
Right.
What I do on YouTube now is amateur hour. As far as sketchiness and as far as like size of jobs and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that brand new trailer was brand new. Waited on it for 8 months to have it custom built. A week old, and I get a call from my driver. So, I get to the yard next morning, the truck is just scraped and mangled. The trailer scraped all down the sides, tires. Oh, it was bad.
That's about normal.
Ripped the whole bottom of the bumper and radiator and everything off the truck when he crashed through the brush heading down the canyon. But, to be fair, he went to the bottom of the canyon and kept it upright the whole time. When I went off the side of the road of the canyon, I did not.
No, you didn't.
Accomplish that.
You know, I thought about you the other day when I was working on a truck.
Oh yeah?
Except it wasn't the brake pedal.
Oh,
No.
I saw your brake pot broke off.
No, that wasn't the one I'm talking about.
Oh, more brake stuff?
Yeah, there's always brake stuff. No, it actually was brake pedal. One of my brake pedal pins didn't have a cotter pin in it.
So, for those who don't know, I had a truck called Papa Smurf. Best truck that ever lived. And then I killed it. And the cotter, I don't know if the cotter pin fell out of the hinge pin of the brake pedal or the hinge pin snapped. Anyway, I was coming down a mountain Went to hit the brakes going into a turn, and pedal was just laying on the floor. That pin broke or came out, the hinge pin of the pedal, and the pedal fell off. And I could no longer slow down enough. Fully loaded, and I think it was like 72,000 pounds. Going way too fast down a little mountain road, and hit the turn, started to bicycle up on the sides, the trailer started to roll, and it was like counter steer out of it and go off the edge, or try to stay on the road and roll. And then I'm like, well, if I roll, I'm going off the edge upside down. If I counter steer, I'm going off the edge right side up. So I counter steered and we flew. Cab overs, it was an old cab over truck. Cab overs fly great. They land like shit. But I survived.
There are some pretty epic pictures out there of that.
Yeah.
Actually, I think you took a video of it too, didn't you, right when it happened?
No, that video of like me inside of it, that was the next day.
Oh, okay.
This little part, so cheap, but so expensive.
Yep.
So that was the next day. It's like I climbed the hill, like this big pass right here. This is like the biggest pass out here.
Yeah.
Climbed it, no problem. Cruise up, not heavy or anything. And then come down the other side, and the engine brake or the exhaust brake, the fan kicks on when the exhaust brake is on. So as soon as the fan started pulling, it goes, and then boom, and then all hell broke loose. And I saw a white chunk of something go flying past my window, which must have been the fan blade. How it came out from under all of that and got past my window, I have no idea.
That's impressive.
But then I like instantly smell coolant, white cloud of steam comes off everything, and then a dash light comes on with ding, low coolant. I'm like, no shit, Sherlock. Like, I can see the steaming cloud behind me. Like, I'm well aware. But then I had to come down the whole hill to get to a turnout because there's nowhere to pull over up there.
Right.
But luckily it was downhill, not up, so I was able to just back off, kick the exhaust brake off, and basically let it idle. And we cruised down the hill and pulled in a turnout up there that was not a good place to sit. So I flew the drone down here to try to see if there was a gate here.
Oh, nice.
Because I didn't want to get all the way down here to this, and then I couldn't pull into here because then it's across all those flats with nowhere to turn off until the other end. And I didn't.
Well, you got another hill to pull right past this one.
Yeah, I didn't want to run this thing with no coolant, so I parked on the shoulder up there because I had a little spot up there I could park that was shitty, but kind of okay. I wouldn't want to do all this there. So then I flew the drone down, like, cool, no gate, because I didn't want to get here and there'd be a gate.
Yeah, that would suck.
Then I'd have to drive this whole thing.
Right.
Okay. Grab water. Let's go.
You ready to go?
I've been ready to go
since before you broke down?
I've been on the road 4 days now. When I was supposed to be home, I was like, I'll be home before dark tonight, get to have dinner with the girls, haven't seen them in a while, it'd be so great. No, now I'm hanging out with Matt in the desert in the middle of the night.
Makes me feeling better. I didn't get to have dinner with my family either.
Yeah, thanks for that. You're welcome. Could lock me out.
I mean, you said pick up the truck, not you.
Bye.
I left the damn door open.
Oh, you got King Ranch?
Yeah, buddy.
Fancy big boss CEO heavy haul guy.
Yeah, not so much.
So 3.5 hours later, and what do I see? A yard full of tow trucks after I get towed home.
Fitting.
There's a bright light for you.
Yeah, that's pretty bright.
Let's go unhook this thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Hey, and we made it home. Well, it's still today. You won't make it home today, but I did. And that's all that matters.
See, this guy, he does work sometimes.
Only when I really have to.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier if I didn't tie the tracks down against the crank bar. And if it wasn't bent where it gets a hard spot. It's probably bent from tying down stuff to it.
No. Yes.
Just bring the Zacklift over and lift it out of here.
I mean, it might have been faster.
Probably.
I've got a big gooseneck trailer, right?
Yeah.
I didn't spec it out when I bought
Trying
it.
to brag or something?
No, definitely not. But I made it a point that if I ever order a trailer,
Hydraulic jacks.
well, that too, at least 2-speed landing gear. You're working really hard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably close enough. Maybe another.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, it's good.
It is now.
What are you talking about?
I mean, I just wanted to...
You were going to let me crank that thing to 8 feet in the air.
I was. Would have been kind of funny, actually.
Good.
I do see that your rollback made it back.
Yeah. Who was it that kept stealing that?
I don't know. Don't know.
That's
better.
The air conditioning's broken. I think that's the only reason it keeps coming back.
I thought you were getting that fixed.
Monday.
That's what you said last week.
Yeah, but then I left
Oh, that's true.
for the week. So now the next week.
Fair.
Yeah.
It'll be really nice once you get the AC fixed.
Then it's going to have a new sticker on the door if I
It might.
fix the AC. Hey, can I borrow it real quick?
I do have a bunch of stickers
I
right
was going to say, why do you have extra stickers in your truck, Matt?
Don't worry about it. Actually, I think I have some in here.
Go put them on real quick.
Probably should.
Yeah.
How much I've been using the damn thing.
Yeah, really. You use it more than I have.
No kidding.
Yeah.
It is handy though.
Oh, it is. Yeah. All right, well, I'm home. That's out. I'm going to bed. See you later.
Just fun. Bye.
Well, it is a little later this morning. Now we got to deal with this mess. I owe Matt a huge thank you. Maybe as a thank you, I'll make him a super good deal on that rollback since he drives it more than I do lately. But you probably hear the rollback is warming up right now. We're going to use it to hook to this trailer so that I can unload this off the back. You don't ever want to like unload off a trailer without something hooked to it. Then, since the rollback can be hooked to this, we can pull this forward, get those tracks off of here, use the rollback to park the trailer, then put this on the rollback. I gotta empty all my stuff out of it first, then put it on the rollback so we can take it to Elite Fleet and fix all the crap that got gutted by that fan blade, I guess. So that's the plan. Okay, rollback is here. So I had to get the ball adapter to make that a 2 5/16. Don't know why I walked the long way around to the truck when I could have just gone right there. Two-inch, 2 5/16. I should probably turn that so it's not sitting right on that pin. There we go. Okay, and we'll lock this down. Now we're hooked up, so I'm gonna get this truck untied and then back it off. So we got the tracks unloaded, we got the truck unloaded, and we got the tracks unloaded. I set them out here. I wanted to put them straight into the shop, but I had to set them here because in the shop, and this is kind of a sad story. Not really, but kind of. My camper's in the shop. Now, I mentioned in a previous video where I put this camper in the back of my black Ram there and went on a long 2-day road trip for a tow from far away as you can get in the corner of the state. And it was a couple who fixed income, been saving up for years to be able to afford to go on a vacation to the beach. Finally did it. Got their van stuck at the beach. Tow company pulled them out, damaged their van pretty heavily. They couldn't afford the repair over where it was, couldn't afford the tow back over here. So I talked to one of my sponsors that sponsors this channel pretty regularly, and they were going to sponsor the video, and then I was going to pay for all the repairs on the van, tow it back, do the whole thing, so when they got the van back, done deal, their nightmare was over. So threw this in the back of the truck, hooked the trailer up, drove 7 hours away, got the damaged van loaded on the trailer, towed it all the way back, dropped it off at Elite Fleet, got it fixed, paid for the repairs. People can get their van back. Their nightmare is done. They're all back in one piece a month later. Then I headed out to Wyoming, and I thought I had downloaded all the footage off of this camera right here to my computer. So I formatted this SD card, and then I filmed the whole Wyoming video on this camera. And then I realized I did not download that footage to my computer, and all that footage, that 2-day round trip tow plus the thing going to Elite Fleet and the whole thing, footage is gone. Which obviously there's no video, there's no sponsor. So I just ate the cost of that repair and don't have a video for it. So but this is in here, back to the whole reason I came over here. This is here because I wanted to weld a bar down there and make kind of like a fork pocket for the forks to sit in on this thing, so it's much more stable to move with the backhoe. So I set it in here so I can get my welder and do that, but now it's in the way of putting the tracks in here where I want to put them. So I think I'm going to do this project so that I can move the tracks in here so that I can then go back to the broke down truck project. Oh, one other thing about this camper. I showed a sneak peek of it in the video, but then deleted all the footage, so I'm going to show a sneak peek now. If we check in here, you see you got the EcoFlow Wave 2 sitting right here. Under here, powering everything in this camper, there's a Delta 2 extra battery pack. You've seen that before. But this right here, this is all I can show you, I think. If I open this door, you get to see like the whole thing. But I think this is all I can show you before getting in trouble. That's an EcoFlow that looks unlike any you've ever seen before, because it is an EcoFlow unlike any you've ever seen before. And they didn't tell me, they told me I couldn't show anybody like the unit. They didn't say I couldn't show like part of the unit. So a sneak peek on that. So one cool thing about EcoFlow, they actually send me the stuff well ahead of its release date so I can get some time with it, use it in this camper here. I've been using it to power other stuff. There'll be a review on that coming up soon. And just don't tell EcoFlow I showed you that. Would be cool. No, they're fine. They won't care. They're actually a really cool company to work with as well. So this project, so that I can finish this project, so that I can get up there and get back to that project. Let's go. Good enough for who it's for. Okay, tracks are in the shop. I gotta give these things a good greasing and checking over to make sure they are good to go, but if you look, they look like these ones are in some really, really good shape. So I'm happy about that. Should be good. Like I said, I can bolt them onto the Blazer, onto any of my Dodges. Well, not the one that doesn't run, but any of the others. My Dodge that doesn't run is booked into an appointment for Elite Fleet Monday morning. This is midday Friday, so get that fixed as soon as we can. I'm gonna get the backhoe parked, and we'll see you guys next time.